Class today is my dear beloved student, Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Gulam Rab Shoaib, Associate Professor of Medicine on the behalf of Medicine Department, Jalalabad Rakib Rabi Medical College Hospital. Today I am discussing about stroke. Stroke is a very much important medical emergency. It is also important for written, oral, OSP. So we should know details about stroke. Any long case, we should know few important points. Number one, what is this? That's my definition. Number two, number two, the modes of presentation. Number three, clinical examination findings. Before that, risk factors of this disease. And number four, examination findings, both general examination and systemic examination. Then investigation. Investigation start from first line investigation and second line investigation. It depends on the disease severity. Then treatment. What is stroke? Definition: acute focal brain dysfunction due to vascular disease. Classification: different types of classification present. This classification depends on the involvement of the vessel. Arterial more than 99%. Among them, infarct 85% and hemorrhage 15%. Less than 1% venous. Infarction again divided into that distribution of blood supply into the cerebral circulation. Anterior circulation 65%. Internal carotid artery and middle cerebral artery supply this area. Posterior circulation 20%. Vertebrovascular circulation. Another important, hemorrhagic stroke. Hemorrhagic stroke 15%. 10% intracerebral hemorrhage involving the brain parenchyma, and another 5% subarachnoid space, subarachnoid hemorrhage. Another important classification based on the duration and evolution of symptoms. Transient ischemic attack. Transient describes a stroke in which symptom resolve within 24 hours. Stroke describes those events in which symptoms last more than 24 hours. Progressing stroke or stroke in evolution describe a stroke in which the focal neurological deficit worsen after the patient first present. The worsening may be due to increasing volume of infarcts at increase, or hemorrhagic transformation, or increasing cerebral edema. Completed stroke describe a stroke in which the focal deficit persists and is not progressing. Presenting problem. Stroke is a common medical emergency. The incidence rises steeply with age, and in many lower and middle income countries, it is rising in association with lower healthy lifestyles. About 20% of stroke patients die within a month of the event, and at least half of those who survive are left with physical disability. It's very much important point for counseling purpose. Weakness, usually unilateral, speech disturbance, dysphagia or dysarthria, visual deficit, visuospatial dysfunction like apraxia, inability to perform complex organized activity. Example, dyspraxia. Ataxia, the loss of full control of bodily movements. Headache. Headache is the very much important modes of presentations of hemorrhagic stroke, especially subarachnoid hemorrhage. But in case of infarction, as well as thrombotic venous sinus thrombosis, also patient may be present with a headache also. Seizure, sudden uncontrolled electrical disturbance in the brain. Patient may be brought to you with the coma, may occur usually coma due to brainstem involvement. Subarachnoid hemorrhage or intracerebral hemorrhage can also cause coma. What is coma? Deep state of prolonged unconsciousness in which a person cannot be awakened or fails to respond normally to painful stimuli. Risk factors. Risk factor, fixed risk factor and modifiable risk factor. Age, gender, race, hereditary, sickle cell disease. It is a hematological disorder. High fibrinogen, previous vascular event. It's very much important point. If the patient have history of myocardial infarction, previous stroke, or evidence of peripheral vascular disease, this patient have more chance to develop recurrent stroke or recent onset stroke. Modifiable risk factors: blood pressure, cigarette smoking, hyperlipidemia, diabetes mellitus, heart disease. You know, atrial fibrillation is the very much important complications of mitral stenosis. And atrial fibrillation, if the patient have atrial fibrillation, more chance to develop thromboembolic stroke, congestive cardiac failure, infective endocarditis, excessive alcohol intake, and estrogen containing drugs, oral contraceptive pill, hormone replacement therapy, polycythemia. Two hematological disorder, lots of hematological disorder, polycythemia, sickle cell anemia, coagulation disorder, thrombocytopenia can precipitate stroke. Clinical examination in stroke disease, general appearance, conscious level, posture, leaning to one side, facial symmetry, pulse, rate and rhythm. In case of atrial fibrillation, irregular pulse, blood pressure and cardiac auscultation. In case of mitral stenosis, mid-diastolic murmur found. First heart sound louder. Higher cerebral function. Higher cerebral function, speech and language, attention, abbreviated mental stage, orientation, memory, speech and language. Localized cortical function. That's mean different cortical area have different function. As frontal lobe has a different function. Occipital lobe has different types of function. And involvement of this area, patient also with the complaints of this types of presentation. Like occipital lobe involvement, patient may be presented with the visual disturbance. Frontal involvement, patient may be presented with the behavior abnormal. Motor systems, bulk of the muscle, abnormal postures or movement, tone of the muscle, then strength, including pronator dip. So pronator dip, coordination, tendon reflexes, plantar reflexes, sensory system, touch sensation, cortical sensory function, joint position sense, gait, able to weight bear, ataxic and hemiparetic gait pattern. Some general examination can able to evaluate the risk factor like xanthelasma. Xanthelasma is the features of usually is the features of dyslipidemia. Rash. Sometimes vasculitis is the very much important causes of stroke. Splinter hemorrhage. It is also features of vasculitis, features of infective endocarditis. Color change, limb ischemia in case of deep vein thrombosis or in case of peripheral vascular disease. Previously told, those patients have vascular event, previous ischemic heart disease, previous generalized features of generalized arteriopathy, those patients have more chance to develop stroke. Pressure injury, eyes, arcus senilis, diabetic retinopathy, hypertensive retinopathy, retinal emboli. Cardiovascular system, heart rhythm. In case of atrial fibrillation, irregular, blood pressure, high or low, carotid bruit. It is also very much important point. Auscultate the carotid artery. It is also very much important source of stroke, extracranial source, atherosclerosis of the carotid artery. Jugular venous pulse, raise in heart failure, low in hypovolemia. Murmur, source of embolism, peripheral pulse and bruit, generalized arteriopathy, evidence of generalized arteriopathy. Sometimes stroke patient may develop orthostatic pneumonia or aspiration pneumonia. This patient may have evidence of infection. Oxygen saturation also noted. Abdomen, palpable bladder. If the patient have urinary retention, bladder may be palpable. Locomotor system. If the patient fall from ground or standing position. Injuries sustained during collapse. One important scoring system that can able to diagnose stroke, because early diagnosis is the very much important point. Early diagnosis, early treatment. Rosier scale. Unilateral facial weakness +1, unilateral grip weakness +1, unilateral arm weakness, unilateral leg weakness, speech loss, and visual field debris, all individually plus 1 point. Then loss of consciousness -1, seizure -1, total score -2 to +6. If the score more than 0 indicates stroke is possible. Another important point, exclusion of hypoglycemia. It is very much important point. When the patient brought to you with the complaints of stroke-like presentation, blood glucose measurement is very essential. The language deficit, motor deficit, sensory and visual inattention, truncal ataxia. For the differential diagnosis of stroke and transient ischemic attack, differential diagnosis of stroke divided into two parts, structural and functional. Structural stroke mimic usually all types of intracranial space occupying lesion. Primary cerebral tumor, metastatic cerebral tumor, that's been metastasis from the other side, from breast, bronchus, extradural and subdural hematoma, demyelination, multiple sclerosis, peripheral nerve lesion, that's brachial plexopathy, patient with the arm weakness, cerebral abscess. Functional stroke mimic, Torts paresis after epileptic seizure, hypoglycemia, migrainous aura with or without headache, focal seizure, Meniere's disease or other vestibular disorder, conversion disorder, encephalitis. How to differentiate stroke from stroke mimics is a very much important point. Symptoms, usually stroke, sudden onset, but in case of stroke mimic, often slower onset. In case of cerebral tumor, gradual onset. Stroke, abrupt onset. Symptom progression, rapidly reach maximum severity. Stroke mimic, often gradual onset. Severity of deficit, unequivocal, may be variable, uncertain. Pattern of deficit, hemispheric pattern, usually stroke hemispheric, may be non-specific with delirium, memory loss, balance disturbance. If the patient brought to you with the complaints of delirium, memory loss, balance disturbance, stroke mimic first consider. Loss of consciousness, uncommon, more common. Some clinical syndromes depends on the involvement of the vessel. Total anterior circulation syndrome, involvement of the middle cerebral artery occlusion. Partial anterior circulation syndrome, occlusion of branch of middle cerebral artery. Lacunar syndrome, thrombotic occlusion of small perforating arteries, lenticulostriate branch. Posterior circulation stroke, symptom, though it's involved the brainstem, cerebellum, occipital lobe, pneuma semimyopia, cerebellar syndrome, cranial nerve syndrome. Now, how will you investigate? Previously, I told investigations, the two types of investigation, first line investigation and second line or special investigation. Usually, first line investigation always easily available, less expensive, but in case of stroke, though CT scan or brain imaging is expensive, but it is a first line investigation. So what are the aims of investigation? Investigation of acute stroke aim to confirm the vascular nature of a lesion. It is very much important. Distinguish infarction from hemorrhage and identifying the underlying vascular disease and risk factor. If you early detect the hemorrhagic from infarction stroke, it is very much helpful for a patient for treatment purpose. Is it a vascular lesion? CT scan or MRI. Is it ischemic or hemorrhagic? CT scan or MRI. Is it subarachnoid hemorrhage? CT scan or lumbar puncture? Is there any cardiac source of embolism? ECG, Holter monitoring, echocardiogram. What is the underlying vascular disease? Duplex ultrasonography of the carotid. Previously told, carotid artery atherosclerosis of the carotid artery is a very much important risk factors for developing stroke. For duplex ultrasonography of the carotid artery, magnetic resonance angiogram, computed tomography angiogram, and contrast angiography, digital subtraction angiogram. What are the risk factors? Full blood count. Previously told, the risk factors for stroke, polycythemia, thrombocytopenia, coagulation disorder. For this reason, and even vasculitis also important risk factors for stroke. For this reason, full blood count is very much important investigation. Lipid profile also, blood glucose, and echocardiography. Is there an unusual cause? Yes, sir. Previously to vasculitis, the 5% causes of stroke due to vasculitis. Yes, sir, raised in case of vasculitis. Serum protein electrophoresis, amyloid angiopathy is the very much important complications of multiple myeloma. Clotting and thermophilias screen, it is also very much important. Management. Counseling is the very much important point for first steps of management. The management is aimed at identifying the cause, minimizing the volume of brain that is irreversibly damaged. Initially, ischemic stroke reversible. If you treat this as early as possible, you can hold the disease progression. For this reason, early diagnosis is the very much important. Minimizing the volume of brain that is irreversibly damaged, preventing complications, reducing the patient disability and handicap through rehabilitation, reducing the risks of recurrent stroke. It is very much important. Reducing the risks of recurrent stroke or other vascular events. How to manage a patient with acute stroke? 12 points you should note it and you should observe. Number 1, airway, breathing, circulation, hydration, nutrition, medication, blood pressure, blood glucose, temperature, pressure areas, incontinence, and mobilization. Airway, perform bedside screen and keep patient kneel by mouth if swallowing unsafe or aspiration occur. Breathing, check respiratory rate and give oxygen if saturation less than 95%. Very much important point. If the oxygen saturation less than 95%, oxygen should be given. Circulation, check peripheral perfusion, pulse, blood pressure, fluid replacement, treat if abnormality present, antiarrhythmic and isotonic drug as appropriate. Hydration, if signs of dehydration, give fluids parenterally or by nasogastric tube. Nutrition, assess nutritional status, provide supplement if needed. If dysphagia, dysphagia persists for more than 48 hours, start feeding via nasogastric tube. Medication, if dysphasic, other routes for essential medication like parenteral, rectal aspiration also available in many countries. Blood pressure, unless there is heart or renal failure, lowering blood pressure, initial lowering the blood pressure is very dangerous condition. So it should be noted and memorized. Unless there is heart or renal failure, evidence of hypertensive encephalopathy or aortic dissection, these 4 conditions, do not lower blood pressure abruptly in first week as it may reduce cerebral perfusion except above 4 conditions mentioned previously mentioned 4 conditions. In this condition, blood pressure lowering rapidly, but do not lower blood pressure abruptly in first week as it may reduce cerebral perfusion. Blood pressure often returns towards patient normal level within days. Another important point, blood glucose. It is also important. Check blood glucose and treat when blood glucose level more than 11.1 millimole per liter. Just diagnose diabetes. It should be treated with insulin infusion or glucose, potassium or insulin. But regular monitoring the blood glucose level, mandatory. Regular monitoring blood glucose level. If pyrexia, investigate and treat underlying cause. Control with antipyretics as raised brain temperature may increase infarct volume. Temperature and blood glucose increase, infarct size increase. So you should control the blood glucose, you should control the temperature. Pressure areas, reduce risks of skin breakdown, treat infection, maintain nutrition, provide pressure relieving mattress, turn immobile patient regularly. If the patient develop incontinence, check of constipation and urinary retention. Treat this appropriately. If needed, catheterization. If needed, avoid urinary catheterization unless patient is in acute urinary retention. It is also very much important point. Or incontinence is threatening pressure area. Mobilization. Avoid bed rest. Now, emergency management of stroke. Clinical diagnosis of stroke by neuroimaging. It may be hemorrhagic stroke or it may be infarctive stroke. Though infarctive stroke is more common, hemorrhagic stroke less common. But what can occur? Neuroimaging mandatory. If it is ischemic stroke and eligible for urgent deperfusion therapy, it is very much important. If the patient brought to you or hospital within a 4.5 hours of symptom onset and patient eligible for urgent deperfusion therapy, intravenous thrombolysis is a very much important treatment options with tissue intravenous thrombolysis or mechanical thrombectomy, usually 20% cases eligible for urgent deperfusion therapy. If patient not eligible or deperfusion therapy not available, in this case, ischemic stroke, aspirin 300 milligram is the treatment of choice. Then 75 milligram. Hemorrhagic stroke, reverse coagulation abnormality. Last but not least, secondary prevention. What is secondary prevention? If the patient develop stroke, this patient have more chance to develop stroke. Because previously told, those patients have vascular event, this patient more dangerous than other patient for developing recurrent stroke. For this reason, secondary prevention is very much important point. We previously told blood pressure lowering is not a mandatory in case of acute stroke, but if the patient develops stroke after 7 days, if his or her blood pressure more than 130/70 mmHg, you treat this patient with antihypertensive. And choice of antihypertensive, H inhibitor or thiazide-like diuretics. If there is no strong contraindication, it should be memorized 130/70. Another important point, if the total cholesterol level is more than 135 milligram per dl, atorvastatin or simvastatin, any types of statin group, 40 milligram at night before prescribing atorvastatin or any types of statin, you should do liver function test. Another important point, previously told, arrhythmia, especially atrial fibrillation is the very much important causes of stroke. So if the patient has stroke as well as atrial fibrillation, this atrial fibrillation should be treated, this atrial fibrillation, maybe DC cardioversion or identifying the underlying cause like thyroid dysfunction. Usually thyrotoxicosis, hypertension is the very much important causes of atrial fibrillation. Mitral stenosis also very much important cause of atrial fibrillation. So you should treat this underlying cause. Another important point, uses of anticoagulant. If the patient have atrial fibrillation and ischemic stroke, you should treat this patient with anticoagulant if there is no strong contraindication, warfarin or rivaroxaban dabigatran, and keep INR level 2.5 to 3. If prosthetic valve present, in this case 3 to 3.5 also preferable or maximum 3 INR. If hemorrhagic stroke or ischemic stroke after 7 days, 130/70 blood pressure is more than, you should treat this patient with H inhibitor or thiazide-like diuretics. Another important point, lifestyle modification. It is very much important point. So what are the risk factors? Alcohol, smoking, obesity, dyslipidemia, blood glucose. So you should control this. So you should control your blood pressure, control your blood glucose, cessation of smoking, definitely avoid alcohol, reduce your weight, regular exercise is very much important point. So, my dear student, you should make a group, discuss with each other, and bedside examination now very difficult for you, but you make a group and consult with each other. Each and every long case, consult with each other, and you should know what is this, what are the modes of presentation, what are the cosmology of this disease, how will you investigate this disease, how will you examine this disease person. Very much important, examination, then treatment. So you should memorize, you should do, you should discuss, and frequent discussion can able to memorize and able to present your long case nicely. Thanks to all. Stay safe, stay home, all the best.